A love story between a kidnapped prince and an anamorph slave girl? And everyone in the world hates magic? Hello and welcome to Classically Trained Nerds Audiobook Review. Today we're going to be reviewing Mage Slave, written by R.K. Thorne and narrated by Tanya Eby. Okay, what to say about this book? I guess the best way to describe it is to just jump right into it. So this book has two main characters, Avin and Miara, and very rarely does the book diverge away from the interactions of these two. And because of that, this makes a very interesting read. So Miara is a mage slave who is magically bound to achieve her mission, and her mission is to kidnap the prince of a rivaling nation. And Avin is, yes, you guessed it, the crowned prince. He's also a walking deus ex machina, and in my opinion, a pretty bland character, especially when he is compared to Miara, who is a very well-written character. So there is a budding love story that's hinted at in the beginning of the book, and then midway through the book, it explodes. Now, the great thing about Thorne is that she wrote in the love story, and it is the main motivation for the characters and drives the storyline, but it doesn't dominate the storyline. So, you know, in some of these more romance novels, especially in the high fantasy, it's almost like the author is just writing scenarios that the smut can be entered in on. And it's not like this. This book is very, very tastefully done, and I would recommend it as probably a top read for a romance. So let's talk about the world building and magic system in this book. So in Mage Slave, there are a couple of large factions in the book that are vying for power, and there's a lot of political intrigue. Now, a lot isn't known except for what's hinted at, and I wish there was more written in the book about certain enemies and certain countries, you know, who hates who and who hates what. You know, I think it would add a little bit more depth to the world. But maybe in book 2 there'll be a larger amount of description on everything that's going on. So the magic system is really interesting in this book. So there's 3 types. There's creature, air, and earth. Now, Miara is a creature mage, and Avin is a budding air mage who has no idea how to use his powers. So as a creature mage, you can command creatures, you can talk to their thoughts, and you can change you and anyone else into different creatures. You can also have different parts of creatures, because at like one point in the book, Miara had like a bear claw and like a talon in the other hand. And she can also heal things too, so she can heal other creatures, including humans. Now, air magic is just what you think it is. It's, you know, manipulating air. Apparently they can manipulate fire. And I guess at one point they can actually command lightning. And yeah, it's a pretty cool system. Now, the one thing that this book is missing is there is absolutely nothing about earth magic. Not a single thing. They mention that it exists, and at the beginning of the book, Miara's like, oh, earth magic would be cool at this point, but she doesn't have it, so she can't use it. And that's it. Not a single thing. Now, the other interesting thing about the magic system is that it's taboo to be a mage. Now, across most of the worlds in this book, if you're a mage, you're considered like a leper or a second-class citizen. So there is, in fact, a country in this world that kills and enslaves mages. Now, they do this in a very interesting way. They actually use magic to enslave mages because they use magic. Very hypocritical, but evil empires are really not known for their logic. Now, Miara, who is a mage slave, is a slave of this country, and she is on a quest to go kidnap Avin, the crowned prince of their rivaling nation. So the ending of the book was fairly predictable, but it wasn't random, which is nice. They did have a little bit of a deus ex machina in the form of Avin, but they were hinting about it through the whole book, so it wasn't as random as you would have thought. Now, it does end in kind of a fairy tale type feeling, but there's still more that can be said, as I do know there is a book 2 coming out. Okay, so the one thing that really stands out in this book is Tanya Eby's performance. Her narration is absolutely mind-blowing. It's amazing. She is now in my top 10 favorite narrators, and she is the best female narrator I have heard. It will be hard to top Michael Kramer in my top 10, but she makes a pretty damn good run of it. She does an awesome job at narrating male voices, which is definitely one of the hardest things for a female narrator to do. She also does a really good job at narrating the description and action within the book. Definitely top-notch, really good performance, and I really could recommend this book on her performance alone. Now, I give this book about a 6.5 out of 10. It's a solid read and it will entertain you, but it won't blow your mind and it won't change your world. So I wish Thorne would have written more. Now, the book really doesn't go beyond the two main characters, and because of this, I really think she missed a couple of really great opportunities to really expand on her world. She created this really unique system of magic, and she created this unique political environment, but doesn't really touch base on it. You know, tell me more about other countries and how they get along with other people, and, you know, tell me about this great evil magic past that happened, except for, you know, the tidbits between two characters talking. There really wasn't much more than that. You know, you created this personality of a world and didn't expand on it. You know, give us more. We can handle it. You know, this book would be phenomenal if it were just more written about it. You know, that does bring up the opportunity for some great fan fiction, though. So if you are in the audience and have read this book, create something, you know, beyond the book that's currently written. And I think you'd got a hit on your hands. Now, if this book were made into a movie, who would play the main characters? So Avin, the kidnapped prince with super awesome untapped magical powers that can bring about the fairy tale ending of this book, I'm gonna have to say Taylor Lautner from the Twilight series. Now, he has the physique described by Thorne as what Avin would look like, and plus I think he has the acting chops to bring a lot of emotional depth to this character that's missing in the writing. Now, as for Miara, the magical slave girl, I am going to pick Natalie Dormer because I think she has the attitude and emotions that are described as Miara. Miara is very snippy and she has this little attitude, kind of this rebellious nature, even rebellious towards other slaves and other, you know, her masters and whatnot. And I think Natalie Dormer really could nail it right on the head. Plus, she's gorgeous, and it's always described that Miara is a very, very beautiful woman, and I think the two would line up very well. So one of the main antagonists, Dace, is basically an ex-soldier who is now a slave master who actually orders Miara to go kidnap Avin. Now, for him, I would choose Michael Keaton, because I think Michael Keaton has that kind of sly, mysterious, manipulative tone about him, or at least can act that way. And plus he's got great acting chops, and I'm sure he can really fit any role that we put him into. And I think he could take the ball with Dace and run with it. So let me know what you guys think of this book. I would really like to talk about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, then please let me know. If you would have gave it a different grading, please let me know that as well. If you agree with me or disagree with me, I mean, lay it on me. Let's talk about it. This book does beg to be talked about. Again, it is a huge world that I wish was expanded on more, but maybe we can expand on it. Whoever's writing some good fan fiction has a lot of open opportunity for it. Thank you, my fellow Nerdinites, for watching this audiobook review. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It does help the channel out greatly. If you feel inclined to purchase this book, I will have the Audible and the paperback version linked below. You can also follow me on Twitter @TrainedNerd. I'll have that link below as well. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good morning, evening, or afternoon.